Hey there, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Musa Jallo, and in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to a video by BBC News Africa, and the video is entitled South Africa Color Community Still Marginalized After Apartheid, BBC Africa. I've seen the good about South Africa and I really like there's a lot of good things happening, but also like I'm not naive to this fact that South Africa have its own problem also. So if I really want to learn about South Africa, I should like learn about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So with no further delay, let's get into the reaction.
This is Westbury, a predominantly coloured neighbourhood in Johannesburg.
Come and join us.
Okay, just in case you're not from South Africa, normally when I say color in South Africa, they are referring to mixed people. That can be like maybe your mom is African, your dad is European, or your dad is like Asian and your mom is like African, something like that. So that's what they refer to as color. So like
Not in Westbury life.
Where people of mixed heritage live. People like me. It's a community caught in the crossfire between drugs and gangs.
When you smoke this, they put on a safety belt.
But they're also battling perceptions that in the new South Africa, they're not quite black enough.
that is like so crazy to think about. Like I feel like America is the only country in the world that refer to mixed people as black. Because like even where I'm from, like people who are mixed, okay, we don't see them differently, but we call them like mulattoes and like mulattoes. But we don't like, I don't know, like in my country, okay, like it's like a really bad example because like I feel like the idea of race is not really so that I'm not saying like people are not tribalistic. We have tribalism. That's another topic for another day. But like the idea of race is not so much there. Like it's not something we really look at. So like people who are mixed, we call them like mulattoes, mulattoes. It's like really so sad. Like you're not black enough, but you're not also white enough. Like, but I don't know. It's crazy.
During apartheid, the government separated the mainly Afrikaans-speaking people from black Africans and forced them to live in areas like this one. On the streets, we meet some community activists holding a meeting about the challenges facing Westbury. It's a great opportunity to ask them to define the coloured identity.
I'm a colored. I call myself a colored because through the apartheid government, we were given that name, colored. My grandmother is Scottish, and my grandfather is a Zulu.
What is a colored? Because I can't see myself as a colored, because that identity was forced onto me.
If you
That it is true that they are mixed people, yes, but in a way also like that identity is like kind of like forced on them. It's like it's so sad. I don't know like all the history, but it's like really sad.
Have a identity crisis. What do? If you don't know who you are. Now the problem that we have in our area is our people don't know who they are. And history has been distorted. So much so that even the colored believes he's a colored. Even though this identity was forced upon us. First by the colonialists, then the nationalist government, and now the democratic dispensation.
Now I've come here to interview them, but they end up asking the tough questions.
How would you identify the term colored from your perspective?
See, the easy definition would be people of mixed heritage, right? That's what people generally accept. So it's been tough for me. It's been tough for me talking about these issues because I used to live in Kenya for a long time, and there isn't this you're colored, you're black, you're white. There isn't a race issue. There's more of a tribe issue.
Exactly what I was trying to say. Like that's the same problem we have in my country. Also, like I have people from my country who like light skin. If you're gonna see them, like really so light skin from my tribes, you're gonna think they are mixed people, right? But also like you have people who like way even darker than me here sitting here right here. So like for us, we don't like distinguish people based on how you look. Like if you like a bit lighter, then you like okay, yeah, you this, you that. We don't do that. But like she said, like in Kenya they have like tribalism. That's their own problem they have. But for us also it's like the same problem we have also. So like I feel like people should all be Africans, like it doesn't make sense to me, for you to call them color, like if your mom is Scottish and your dad is like Zulu, but you identify more out with the Zulu part of your culture, then you're Zulu. But if you like identify more with the Scottish side, you want to be Scottish, you should be Scottish. I feel like it should be like up to you, like the whole idea of race sometimes doesn't make sense to me.
So this is new for me, and grappling with this issue, it's a lot for me. And having these discussions in my family, it causes huge divisions. And I think it causes huge divisions in communities because families are microcosms of that. So this is my issue, and this is what I think I am grappling with at the moment as well. Closely linked with an identity struggle here is the struggle to find a job. 23-year-old Luther Noble has been looking for work for over a year. South Africa has one of the highest youth unemployment rates in the world, and it's going up. For the coloured community, unemployment is at nearly 22%, still lower than for the black majority. Do you feel judged by what skin colour you are?
Well, I went in 2015 for a job. They said I should come back. The second big manager didn't even look my way because I was a colored. He told the big manager that he's not taking people.
So you've been through you're not black enough, you're not white enough.
That is like so crazy, man. Like, I feel like, like black South African, they were oppressed, right? So I feel like they should be the last one doing this to other people because they should know how it feels like. But I kind of get the idea also, like, oh, we're gonna protect our own, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. But it's really so sad to see.
It was discouraging. I gave up for a year to look for work.
Do you think that communities like Westbury feel marginalized because they are predominantly colored people who live here?
Yeah. We feel like we maybe looked over most of the time here.
Staying off the streets and out of trouble is a constant battle for young men like Luther. According to police, there have been 33 gang-related deaths in Westbury this past year. So this is a main street where they used to shoot people a lot, as I understand.
Once was here, one was in our street, up in that street there, mostly in between houses. They shoot people.
And you'd see this kind of thing, you'd witness it on a daily basis?
I would mostly be in house. Sometimes you'll hear it, sometimes you'll just have to keep quiet. And if you're late at night, you have to switch off your TV and everything and just wait till everything is done.
Westbury recently erupted in violent protests following the shooting of a woman and a 10-year-old girl caught in the crossfire between rival gangs.
The lady was laying there, my tears were falling. Then I said, today I'm gonna make kak. In other words, I'm gonna make shit today.
Carol Sullies led the action here. She didn't plan to, but her frustration boiled over.
Actually, the government saw how our colored people of this community, they were angry. As you seen, they had even put petrol bombs into the police van and nobody could have stopped them.
What do you think is at the source of that anger? Is it poverty? Is it unemployment? Is it the drugs? What's the source?
You know, let me start with unemployment. I mean, yeah, I will say education is also part of it. But most of our youngsters, they finish matric, then they don't have anything to do. They will stand on corners because someone that are selling drugs will say, no man, I can pay you 1,000 rand a week. And I mean, if you don't get anything, you finish with school, what are you gonna do?
Man, that is like it is so sad to see, but that is like true. Like because like sometimes like if you like it's not even just South Africa. I feel like most African countries, a lot of young people that go to school, graduate, and then after there is no job. Like imagine how crazy that is. So what was the point, You know what I mean? Like you go and get the education, but then you come back, there is no job. That is like it's really so sad, man. That's why you see like people in Africa, like even though I like Wodemaya, like Tayo Aina, they are like promoting Africa, people should move back, But like sometimes I feel like they are not being truthful enough to like really talk about what's really happening in Africa, Like the problem people are facing like this, and I feel like they don't really talk about it, They want to try to glamorize things. I know like Africa have a whole lot of negative press already, So it's like good they are showing the positive side, but also they should be realistic, Like living in Africa is not easy, man. Imagine you go to school, you come back, you graduate, get good grades, did well in school, but then there is no job, you know. That is like so sad.
You're gonna take 1,000 rand. I have children. My 6-year-old child, when he start making the signs of gangsters, then I knew, no, I had to do something. He's not giving me problems. He's still encouraged, but doing the things that gangsters do. And then I also have my daughter is 13 years. It's her first year. It's her first year in high school. Like our girls, most of them are on drugs. If you can walk around and you see a lot of youngsters here, especially our girls, our youth, they are like, you can even cry when you look at them.
So just how bad is crime in Westbury? Well, we've come out with some officers from the local police station on an operation as they try and stamp out drugs and crime in this area.
If you look at this shoes here hanging over the wire here, that is an indication that they are selling drugs in this area.
What are the drugs that they sell here predominantly?
Predominantly drugs. Drug that's sold here is crystal meth, which they've got so many names for. We've got, you know, it's called tuck, it's called meth.
I'm no expert on drugs, but I feel like crystal meth it make you crazy, you know, like I don't care how much you want to party and have fun. I'm not promoting any drugs because I don't do any myself, you know, but meth you should stay far away from it, you know. It's like one of the worst of the worst, you know.
And you don't have to go very far to see how common drug use is here. We found these guys just around the corner from the police station.
When you smoke this, they put on a safety belt.
It all comes back to poverty and joblessness. That is what happens, you know. And then obviously the drugs is a sort of income for some people.
Heavily armed police officers have now been deployed here. They're from the elite tactical response team, and they've been targeting drug dealers. The arrests of these drug dealers, have they made you feel safer in Westbury as a young man?
Yeah, it is, because sometimes you can't even go run anywhere or go anywhere because you have to worry what time they shoot, because they shoot in the morning, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or the time you go to work, or the time wherever you're going, they just start shooting. But so far it's been silent because of this police force.
It's a fight for survival in Westbury, and Luther recently stepped into the ring in an attempt to stay out of the hands of the drug dealers and the gangsters.
For the past year or so, I felt like my life is going nowhere, so I just meant I need to have a direction in life. I need a purpose. Hopes for the future is like me boxing overseas, being the world champion of the whole world. That's my...
Imagine like a dude like this guy, right? This one is like, he looked like a really nice person. He's not doing anything wrong, you know. He went to school, tried looking for a job. There is no job. So why somebody like this wouldn't want to try to leave to go overseas, you know? Like, I don't get it, but like, it's really so sad, man. Like, it's really so sad.
Clean.
1, 2, 4.
Luther's coach, Bjorn Moses, believes that being coloured shouldn't hold you back.
If you get an opportunity, a good opportunity, at the end of the day, it is what you make out of it. That's important, it's what you make out of it. So everything is in your hands. As a person, as an individual, it is what you make. For instance, if you get a job, even the little money that you're working for, you can use it, you can go and study, things like that, whatever. So anything is possible.
For us, we like, you know, we at Eastwood, we are coloreds. So you cannot solve anything. I'm proud.
I just want this place to change and to be better than what it is now. Like every single young person can become something, just if they can set their mind to it.
The problems we're seeing here in Westbury aren't unique to this community. There are townships across South Africa struggling with the same issues. Now, Carol chose to take a stand and lead the protest, While Luther dreams of leaving the hood, what's at stake is a sense of belonging, a feeling as though they're helping build South Africa.
Man, this is like really so sad to see it because I believe like South Africa as a country have really like so much potential, you know. And I feel like things like this should not be happening, you know. Like I just pray the whole country can move forward, you know, everybody can like live a better life, you know, because I feel like the country have like so much potential, you know, the resources there, the population is educated, you know, they have like good school system, they have good healthcare system compared to other African countries, you know, so I feel like there's like so much potential, you know, for them to just all work together and like try to make this country better, you know. But thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, remember to like it, comment down below. See you in the next one. Peace out.